The Valdorian war fleet materialized at the edge of the Sol system with the precision of a surgical strike. 300 vessels, each the size of a small moon, their hulls shimmering with quantum phase armor that had obliterated countless civilizations across 12 galaxies. Commander Zhalkar stood on the bridge of the flagship Eternal Dominion, his three eyes fixed on the primitive blue planet rotating peacefully in the viewscreen. This would be simple. The species called humans had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. Their weapons were laughably crude, chemical propellants and primitive lasers. The Galactic Council had granted the Valdorians the right to claim this system after humanity had inadvertently destroyed a Council monitoring probe. "Open communication channels," Zhalkar commanded. "Let them tremble before their end." On Earth, Dr. Elsa Chen sat in the monitoring station beneath the Swiss Alps, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. The coffee in her mug had gone cold 3 hours ago, but she hadn't noticed. Beside her, Alex Morrison leaned back in his chair, feet propped on the console in a way that would have made their supervisor apoplectic. "You seeing this, Els?" Alex asked, gesturing at the sensor readings flooding their screens. 300 capital ships, Elsa confirmed, her dark eyes reflecting the data cascading before her. Energy signatures off the charts. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. Looks like a standard intimidation package. The translation algorithms parsed the alien message within seconds. It was the usual conqueror's speech. "Surrender or be destroyed. Resistance is futile. Your planet belongs to the Valdorian Empire now," etc. Alex snorted. Did they just threaten to atomize our primitive structures? "Play the message back," Elsa said, pulling up the translation matrix. As the alien commander's voice boomed through their speakers, all guttural clicks and threatening harmonics, she started to giggle. "What?" Alex looked at her curiously. Elsa could barely speak through her laughter. "They think we're primitives. Alex, they actually think we're a pre-contact civilization." Alex's eyes widened as understanding dawned. Then he started laughing too, a deep belly laugh that echoed through the monitoring station. "Oh God," he wheezed, "should we tell them?" "We have to tell them," Elsa said, wiping tears from her eyes. "This is too good." She opened a return channel, still chuckling. "Unidentified fleet, this is Dr. Elsa Chen of the United Earth Defense Monitoring Network. We've received your declaration. Before you proceed, we'd like to verify something. Could you confirm your vessel's maximum velocity and weapon yield capacity?" On the Eternal Dominion, Zhalkar's mandibles clicked in confusion. The human was asking about their military specifications. Perhaps they wanted to know the full scope of their doom. "Our vessels can achieve 0.97 light speed," he declared proudly. "Our plasma cannons generate 300 petawatts per discharge. Your civilization will be dust within the hour." The response came back almost immediately, and it was laughter, actual laughter. 0.97, Elsa repeated, her voice shaking with mirth. "Alex, they're still using reaction mass." Okay, Alex said, trying to compose himself. He opened his own channel. "Unknown fleet, this is Dr. Alex Morrison. Listen, we appreciate the whole intimidation routine, really professional work, but there's been a massive misunderstanding." "There is no misunderstanding, human," Zhalkar growled. "You destroyed Council property. Your species must be taught." "Yeah, about that probe," Elsa interrupted. "That was 16 years ago. We were testing our first-generation probability field disruptor. Completely accidental. We've sent the Council 17 apology letters and offered reparations. Haven't you guys read them?" Zhalkar pulled up the diplomatic database. His blood ran cold. 17 messages, all routed to a clerical subsystem that had been offline for maintenance for 16 years. "And the thing is," Alex continued, his tone almost apologetic, "we kind of assumed you were the Council coming to finalize the settlement agreement. We had no idea you were actually here to invade." "Your weapons are primitive," Jalkar insisted, his voice rising. "Our sensors show basic laser emplacements, kinetic platforms." "Oh, those," Elsa said brightly. "Those are for asteroids and space debris. Our actual defensive grid is, well, you probably can't detect it. Your sensors operate on electromagnetic principles, right?" "Of course, what else would?" Right, Alex said. "So here's the thing. About 40 years ago, we figured out how to manipulate localized spacetime curvature. 20 years ago, we cracked quantum entanglement communication and weaponization. And 5 years ago, Dr. Chen here," he gestured proudly at Elsa, "successfully tested the first causality loop generator." Jalkar felt his primary heart skip several beats. That's impossible. Such technology would require computational power beyond quantum processing, yeah, Elsa confirmed. "We developed trans-dimensional computing substrates about 30 years back. Listen, we're not trying to brag or anything. We genuinely thought the galaxy knew about this stuff. Earth's been broadcasting our scientific papers on open channels for decades." "But our intelligence reports," Jalkar was frantically pulling up files. "The reports were there. From 16 years ago, before the monitoring probe was destroyed, before the clerical error, before we broke through the light barrier," Alex finished, somehow reading his thoughts through the communication lag. "Yeah, we were pretty primitive back then. But you know how exponential technological growth works. Gets pretty crazy after the singularity point." Elsa pulled up a visual feed showing Earth from their perspective. "See those rings around the planet? Those aren't satellites." Jalkar zoomed in. The rings resolved into billions of microscopic objects, each one phasing in and out of normal spacetime. "Autonomous defense drones," Elsa explained. "Each one carries a miniaturized black hole generator. They exist in a probabilistic superposition until needed. There are currently 3,700,000,000,000 active units in Earth's immediate orbital space. We could deactivate them if you want to proceed with your invasion," Alex offered cheerfully. "But fair warning, our backup systems would take about 45 seconds to deploy, and they're a bit more aggressive." Jalkar looked at his tactical displays. His ships were already surrounded, had been since they'd arrived, by weapons his sensors couldn't even properly detect. "The Council will hear of this," he said weakly. "Oh, definitely call them," Elsa agreed. "And tell them we're still waiting on confirmation of our reparation payment. We really do feel bad about that probe. Coffee." The last part was directed at Alex, who was already pouring from a fresh pot. The Valdorian fleet departed 17 minutes later, moving with significantly less confidence than when they'd arrived. Elsa and Alex watched them go, still chuckling. "Think they'll come back?" Alex asked. "Nah," Elsa said, taking a sip of coffee. "But we should probably send another apology letter to the Council, with tracking this time." "Good call," Alex agreed. "Wanna grab lunch? I'm thinking Thai." Above them, the defense drones flickered back into quantum superposition, invisible guardians of a planet that had learned long ago that the universe had a sense of humor. You just had to be smart enough to get the joke.